Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and this is Transport Fever, and you join me a couple of months, well actually probably about 6 or 7 months after the end of the last episode. And as you probably know if you've watched any of the previous episodes, as I've said, I tend to play on a little bit after the end of an episode, just kind of make sure that what I'm doing works or is likely to work, or if there are problems, work out some way I might deal with them in the next episode or whatever, and also do some basic maintenance, just check that things are going well, and identify any issues where I might need to sort of focus a future episode on fixing it, and also just take care of any particularly old vehicles or routes that are going awry. So we've updated a few of the lines just to replace old vehicles, 20 odd years old, where they're kind of old technology, they're slow, they have little capacity, and because of their age they're kind of costing money. So I've replaced a number of those, primarily actually here in Newbury, which is what we're looking at the moment, and also in Exeter, where there are lots of old buses, but it's particularly buses, and replace those. Now, what I wanted to start off on this episode is just highlight something which we'll have to look at in proper detail in a future episode, and as you can see, excuse the croaky voice here, I was going to start here actually so you couldn't see those numbers. We are still making very healthy profits, though for some reason last year we were over 3 million down in terms of income on the last year, but we did actually make a very healthy profit, largely because we weren't spending millions and millions on new vehicles as we had in the previous years. So that's all well and good, and that's mostly down to our reliable old routes really, the long passenger route from Newbury here all the way out to Plymouth via Coventry and Churchill, our farm produce, more about that in a moment, and Whitchurch fuel, and there are a few which are sort of taking on and keeping things going quite nicely. As you can see, we've got several million plus routes there, which is all very good. The other end of that, we do have these latest routes which are costing money still. The Northern Connection, that should start coming into profit very slightly anyway, in about another year or so, if my play on is anything to go by. As you can see, we haven't got any others there. The other one is the Whitchurch full food delivery, which is only 300k in the red this year, so everything else is working quite well, to be honest. I'm not worried about that. Now, the interesting thing, as I said, about farm produce, you can see here it's actually now bringing fuel into Newbury. If we go up to Exeter down here, where's Exeter gone? I've lost it already. There it is. Yeah, there it is, the hub, the sort of mini hub we've got here. Because we're bringing fuel up from the main northern hub, and one of the wagons we're using, is it this one in fact? Yeah, one of the wagons we deployed on our latest train on that route actually is multi-purpose. It's an odd thing. It carries grain and food as opposed to livestock and food, which is what all the other wagons do. But it also carries fuel, which means it's actually bringing the fuel down here from this hub, which I wasn't expecting it to do, and delivering it to Newbury, which gave me a bit of a quandary, because the only sort of freight or cargo route I had in Newbury was designed to take food from the station here and deliver it to the commercial space up here. Fuel, of course, is an industrial need, so that needs to come over here. Which meant actually changing the route slightly. Now we are using Opals now on this route. Have I got, where's my trucks? That's one there. The Opal Blitz does take pretty much anything. It's the previous vehicles were sort of cargo specific, but the Blitz will take anything. So if it does get fuel from here, which is obviously why the train's delivering it, because it knows it can deliver fuel through these new trucks, it's bringing that in. Now the station has a small footprint over the industrial zone, but the main development is here near the city centre. So what I've actually done is I've employed one of the new cargo mods, the cargo station mods, which is this one here. Now I have a feeling I could have looked this up, couldn't I, before I started, which I think I mentioned in a previous episode, but if not, then I'll certainly put it in the description, a link to the mod in the description for this video, and it will certainly be in the Steam collection, at least by the end of this video. So I'll put that in there, and moved the route so it actually now includes both the main commercial zone and just about the industrial zone over here. There's a bit missed out, but I don't think there's much. And also I've put bus lanes in here, and I'm using the Slim Road mod, so I've got slim large streets which are actually a little bit narrower, there we go, as opposed to the normal large street. Oh, I need to accept it, don't I? And there's your slim one. Yeah, which means I could get away with, certainly on the big roads here, I could get away with upgrading them from medium to slim large. So I could get the 4 lanes of traffic which you need to make bus lanes work properly. Again, I think those have already been described in a previous video, so again the link for those will be in the Steam collection. Okay, and I've also used the waypoints here to ensure that my cargo, and in fact both the bus routes as well here, only use, where possible, roads with bus lanes, so they don't get slowed down by any of the private traffic in town, which for some reason there isn't actually a lot of in Newbury. My coverage of the town is, I think, only 45%, which is good, but I'm not quite sure that explains why there's so little vehicular or foot traffic in Newbury. It is kind of odd, not even between the cities. I mean, I've got buses and trains connecting Newbury, so those options are taken care of. Anyway, so that's using the waypoints to make sure my freight route, it's not the shortest route, but it should be the fastest because it's using fast roads and it has separate bus lanes to use. So what I want to do today, again, it's kind of going back to the farm produce and the oil. We mentioned this in the last episode. There is something going on here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm not getting a great deal of fuel production here on this route, which impacts on several towns. So I'm delivering fuel to Felixstowe, to Whitchurch, to the hub here, which delivers fuel to Falmouth and Exeter, and also now apparently Newbury. So maybe there's just not there's just too much demand, perhaps. I'm not quite sure. So I think what we'll need to do is upgrade the capacity both on the train here taking the oil from the well, and the trains. We need to do something about the trains taking the fuel from the refinery. Ooh, excellent! New trucks. That's a new modded vehicle. I'm looking forward to using that one. I think that's a modded vehicle. That is definitely a modded vehicle, that boat. But I'm not using cargo on boats. So we might use some of those actually. However, the focus of this episode, I'm sorry, it's about it takes a while getting into it sometimes, I'm sorry about that, is these construction materials, these bricks. I need to address, I'm going to pause it now because I don't want to get it into too much of a state and lose demand. We're getting loads of construction materials delivered here to Plymouth, but we're not taking much down to the other side of the river for onward delivery to the other towns. Now, I will deal with that in the next episode, but what I want to do in this episode is something somewhat new, a whole new route, and a slightly adventurous perhaps, and certainly laying the foundation, as you will, as that's appropriate for construction materials, for a new distribution setup. We're going to take the bricks from here and deliver them to Churchill and to Coventry, with scope to deliver them to Newbury and anywhere else on this side of the river. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a little mini hub here between Coventry and Churchill, and I'm actually going to use trucks to deliver it to these two towns here. I could possibly do it by train, but there's a very short route, and I don't like trains for short routes. Trucks make sense for me. Now, the issue we've got here is this main road here, which we're using for our intercity bus route. Now, I could use that, but the thing is, the train track's going to come down from here. It's going to be on this side of the passenger line. I don't think I'll be able to use the passenger line to be on it. Could I use the passenger? Oh, I'm just thinking about that. In fact, if I use the passenger line, so if I connect the cargo up to that, no, I could do that. As you know, as I said, I do play on a little bit, and I played on with setting this up, and I'd always had separate track. If I had a cargo station in here with transit tracks, so the passenger line just sped through and shouldn't be interrupted, then I could connect to this road. Right, that's what we're doing. Right, okay. Now the first thing we need to do is extend this station here. We have got 2 platforms already, so right, that's ready. I don't need to worry about that. I'll deal with that in a second. Alright, let's set this bit up. So we want to be roughly, what's our contours? Yeah, actually, that is a good idea. I'm glad I'm so glad you were here to prompt me into rethinking my plan. Okay, so what we need is a cargo station going in here. Well, I had actually planned to use this one, which comes with a built-in truck freight station in here. And I did sort of play it for a little while using this station as a test, and it works. But the freight station, sorry, the truck station is a little bit small. It doesn't look like it'll handle the amount of volume of business I'm going to put through it. So I'm not going to use that one, but it's a gorgeous looking model, and you can do all sorts of things with it. So I will put that in the description, a link to that mod in the description. So if you fancy trying that one out, then by all means you can use my links to look it up. I want to cancel that, don't I? Let's get a new trade station. Now it's going to be a passing. Now I could use this one. Do any of these have? That one has without middle ramp. So if we put 4 on there, that works actually, doesn't it? Because 2 external ones could be used for cargo, and the 2 in the centre could be the fast routes through for the passenger trains. Definitely. Yeah, I don't have a great variety of stations for cargo. I'll have to hunt down on the workshop for some more. Let's try it with that one. Okay, so what we're going to do, we need to spin it around this way because we're going to connect to this motorway, so I'm going to have to disconnect a few things for a while. Another reason for having it in pause. I think if we put it in there, that should do fine. In fact, I think we'll reroute this motorway a fair bit while we're going through. We might want to... I'm taking a fair bit of track out because we may want to smooth out the curves on there or whatever. Okay, let's do some smoothing there so we don't get any unwanted bumps. So where's our train station? So if he's going in there, he's not going to be electric for the moment. He's going to be high speed certainly. We'll make him a long one. Yeah, you see, if I fit him in there, that misses the curve there, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to lose some signals. A bit more random smoothing. Yeah, I don't... curve there, isn't it? Okay, let's take him back a bit more. So if we put... Actually, yes, about here is in fact a better place for him. So, where are we going to stick you? I'll put you there. Okay. And we need some high-speed tracks. We're not using electric. Oh, he is slowing up a bit there, isn't he? Right, we need to... Right. Now will this give us better speed coming out of the station? A little bit. I mean, it slows down as he goes through the station, which I suppose is fair enough. We probably would a little bit. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the rules are of the rail, where you transit through stations. Okay, so that's set up okay. Do we need any more signals on there? Oh, I put some new signals into the game as well. These are some English signals. I'm not quite sure what that blue blob one was. Yeah, I think the German ones, obviously, you can see that from the description, and they turn up quite early in the game. But they're a little bit odd, and I didn't like the way they looked, so I've not used them or mentioned them. All right, so this is a 3. So these are designed to be like English signals. Again, the link. Oh, right. So can you see them? There they go. Why is he not sitting on? There he goes. Oh, that's interesting. Sitting on the odd side of the track. Oh, right. Yes, there's another mod for English signals, which did talk about the fact that you sort of place them on the wrong. You place the cursor was over the wrong side of the track, or the different side of the other side of the track to where they were actually physically positioned, which makes deleting them a bit of an issue. These are 3 signal lights. Red, yellow and green, and the description suggests that the yellow doesn't work terribly well, or some issue with the way it treats yellow and red. I think they work perfectly in terms of the game, but if you're looking for the aesthetics being correct, now this is going to be interesting. Where will these place? Yeah, because I travel on the left and they are being placed on the outside, which is where they should be. Now will this work? Because the normal game ones, yeah, see they place up this. This has been designed for English usage. Right, which is going to make them a little bit harder to place. Right, it's slightly non-intuitive. Right, okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, I hope that works. We'll see in due course. Right, they are, which means they're placed on the outside of the track, which is probably where they should be. And I've been forcing the game to adhere to my rules for left-hand travel. Okay, we need to sort out this road. This road is going to be a country road. It's going to be large, and I'm going to bus lane it again. Yeah, we'll use a large speed limit of 70, which is our speed limit in the UK, so that's what we'll use. Okay. Now, the nasty suspicion that junction will cause all the traffic to slow down, so I should have placed the road before I placed the train station. Well, that becomes awkward if I accept that. That looks unsightly. You know what I'll do? I'm going to take that out. It's okay, I've got money to burn. I've got 121 million in the bank. Such reckless abandon. It's disgraceful. Okay, if I do that and then put in a little bit of medium country road, I don't need a bus lane on there to connect the station. Right, now with any luck that won't interrupt or make them slow down. I need to get rid of these as well, just to get the make sure again the speed doesn't diminish. There are some fast, I'm not sure if they're in my inventory just yet, but there are some fast buses coming up which will be able to take advantage of, well, the speed will be better than, what am I doing here? Sorry, I'm getting completely lost and confused. Alright, so they'll be able to take advantage of that. They'll be travelling faster than the average private vehicle. Okay, so that's the station set up to receive the vehicles, and I will want this to develop into something of a major distribution centre carrying all sorts of goods. So what I'm thinking of doing is using one of these funky new modded cargo stations, truck stations, and that will, if I take 2 platforms, that would do. That looks quite good, doesn't it? That's quite impressive. Sort of set up for a hub, isn't it, really? Definitely. Okay, now I'm starting this kind of sort of, if you'll pardon the expression, arse about face, because the trick with Transport Fever, of course, as you probably all know, is demand driven. So you need to have the demand in place before it really ramps up production and delivers stuff to you, to your towns. Right, so this is industrial delivery of construction materials. And we've got another construction depot, and this again is another modded one. This is going to be a modding episode, a mod use episode, I think. So this allows us to have, where is it? One way, a drive-through cargo station, which I think is fabulous. Yeah, if we turn it like that. I know there was one thing on, I think on that previous one, which was the yellow lines. Which one was it? Which was this one here. I think you could only connect it to certain types of road. It had to kind of match what's on what's coming out of the depot. And I'm not sure if this one's the same thing. Actually, I don't want a country road because this is inside the town. So if I connect it to Slim, it does here. I think the other one wouldn't allow me to do that. Not quite sure why, but there's obviously some issue with. Actually, can I? Oh, I can do that without deleting any buildings. Let's upgrade this and stick a connection in there. That's perfect. Okay, so the trucks will come in through there, deliver, and then just go out as a straight through process. That's excellent. And we will just to actually, what we could do on here, there's an option on the cargo station to have roads going out either side for sort of passengers to walk through the cargo station. Oh, the one thing I wanted to do, because I liked it better, was change the barrier. You can't see it here, obviously. The white wall is the default sound barrier. What's the word I'm looking for? Perimeter. That'll do. And the fencing one is the steel fence, which is what I prefer actually. It just looks nicer for some reason. Well, for me anyway. Right, so we want to right, so we've got a road going out on that side, and we'll have one going up on the other side. and you can choose whether they're old or new style. It's really kind of funky. So many choices. And one or two way, we can put trams through it as well. I'm not quite sure why you want trams going through a cargo station, but oh no, they're on the connector. Oh, they're on there. Well, that's weird. How does that work? I'm not sure. Anyway, we don't want trams going through here. That will do nicely, which means I can then connect that up to promote town development. There we go. How does that look? Roughly straight proper T-junction. That'll do nicely. It will just have a bit of road coming out. I shall make that a small one. That's better. Just to encourage the town council to build around there. Hopefully, appropriately industrial buildings. Right, so that's there. So that's where the trucks will go, delivering the construction materials into Coventry. Now Churchill's more complicated because we've got the train station splits the town, and as you'd expect, the town is developed on both sides of the railway station. There's no easy route across without demolishing a lot of property and the like. So where could we stick? You see that terminal there does cover these high value industrial units and some on the other side there. Not quite sure how it manages to get round there. Unless they're going through the station. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? So if we set up a cargo station somewhere around here, that would work. Now we could use these sort of faux passenger stops, you know, which are these little there you are, no parking kind of kind of delivery spots, which we could. I don't particularly like. They don't ring true for industrial delivery, do they? Really, for commercials, that could be fine. And what do we have? We do have these, but that requires. Use this again. Now where could I stick that, which wouldn't cost me too much money? It's not so much the money I'm concerned about, it's the loss of business. It's the it's the fact that we would lose those buildings. But they'd build again, to be honest. I could put it there perhaps. Well, there are some high value properties there. Or we could use this dinky little small station, cargo station, which is tiny. Actually, we could make this one smaller. And there is a length option on it. How does that work? So that's right. It does make it a lot small. Right. That's quite good. There's a lot of space, empty space on one side though for some reason. We could reuse this one. And where would he stick it? And that doesn't connect to anything. Where's the road? It's on that side. Connect it there. Again, it connects. Or if we put it in there, that gets all those buildings, but I'm losing them on this side of the road. This is. Well, what I could do is just bite the bullet and demolish a whole set of buildings and put it in there. Now, what happened if I put it in here? Covers a modest amount. And in here, that's probably the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. is a bit too... Actually, could it fit in here? It might be able to. Okay, let's do it. Actually, these are all cheap buildings, so something at least. Oh, I didn't plan to do that. Oh, bother. Well, oh well, never mind. It's done now. Right. So I just deleted hit the wrong key there. We'll make this again one way. Which might help. The thing is, can I then does it connect up there? If I make it slightly longer. No, that doesn't like connecting that way, so it needs to be short. Okay, let's... That is very short, isn't it? It might do, it'll do for now, I think. Oh, and you can connect up there. That's cool. Okay, should we put some road back in here without deleting that building? That's fine. And they can sort of sit there overlooking the railway. Yep, that'll be good. And join you up there. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll have two routes in here. Which are in unseeable colours. We'll take that one, I think. And this can go from there to there. I might want to bus lane that. That looks okay. And that's the Coventry freight, we'll call it. And then this one, go from here. We'll give it a paler colour. I'm going to go to Churchill West once. Why is it called Churchill? I'm going to change the names of some of these stations, I think. Right. And that goes there. Right, again, I may need to adjust the roads on this to make sure the routes are fine. We'll make that so it waits to fill up. But we won't wait too long. And that's a Churchill freight. Okay. Right, we just need now to get the train down here. Okay. So it's going to be a train line. We've got no catenary. It's definitely high speed. Right, and that's coming in on this line here. And it's going to need to, yeah, we'll go around as close to the passenger track as we can. Well, that's quite good. We're not getting... Why did that cut out then? Why did that give me such a low speed? Is that what it does when it hits a road and says I don't want to build here? Yeah, I'm not getting the maximum 186, am I, anywhere on that line? 162, that's going to have to do, I think. So if we take you there, we'll get rid of the road in the way. We need to get rid of you as well, I think. And we need to put the other side in. Right, you're a nice straight line down. You see, got 186 on that curve. It's I don't know. It's confusing. One rule for one line, and another rule for another. I mean, it is downhill pretty much, to be honest. Where's that connecting? Actually, if we take that. To there. That's okay, I think. I'll bring you down here. And the other line bringing construction materials down from the plant into Plymouth is electrified, and that's fine. I'll leave that as is. I'll say for the moment I'm quite happy to use diesel, I think, for a number of these services. Well, that's quite impressive, and that's less than 1 million as well, and that's cutting a fair swathe out of the hills, so that looks okay. A little pause for the autosave. Right, well, I'm happy with that. So we need a new line then for our train route. Oh, and we'll colour this one. Actually, what's the colour of the other one? That's that. I think, yeah, we'll give it the paler colour. So that goes from there. Again, we'll wait till you fill up, but not too long. Yeah, from Plymouth Holt out here to whatever silly name it's, Coventry East. Given to the station. That's interesting. The train station is Coventry East, and the truck stop is Churchill something or other. Well, there you are. And this is going to be, we'll call it the Coventry Hub Construction. Okay. Magnificent. Right. So I think we've got everything in place. We've got the lines to deliver to the final destination. Let's get our locos. So, as I said, looking at diesel, what do we have? Oh, they're all slow. Do we have oh, I put a funky new steam train on here, the 9F. Look at that, 89 miles an hour. That's impressive. I think I have used the standard class somewhere. Can't remember where. I'm sure I've used that on a passenger route somewhere. 89. Again, the link for these will be in the description, and they'll also be in the Steam collection, of course. Actually, they're not that expensive. How do they compare to the diesel? That's 1450 at 200 kilonewtons. Oh, these are much more powerful and indeed a good deal faster. What about the electrics? We had a new electric turn up, didn't we? Was it this one? Yeah, so these are quite... Actually, these have got a fair amount of power to them. That one's impressive. It's a bit more expensive. And it says passengers anyway, so yes, I couldn't possibly use that for carrying cargo. Oh well, you know what? I'm going to make it... Shall I make it steam? I'm so tempted to. That's so really... oh no, we'll do the steam one a little bit later. How long have we got left for that one in service? Well, we've got a few years yet. I'll put that on one. Actually, one of the express lines does need an update, so I'll put it on that, I think. Okay, we'll use the NOHAB still. I'm sure we're due a new diesel, a new faster diesel sometime soon. We'll take you. And which freight wagon should we use for construction materials? That carries 10 at 37. No, siree. You don't carry construction materials, you carry most everything else, confusingly. You travel at 99.75. That's a good match. We've used it before, but it is a proper GWR English kind of. Yeah, let's use you. How many are we going to carry? How many? That's 12. That's 36, 48, 62, is that? Yeah, let's put that on there. Okay, and we'll set you onto the Coventry hub construction. Okay, so that's you waiting. I'll get the trucks ready as well before we let the train go. Where's my depot here? I think there you are. Right, now we had. Right, so we've got the Opel Blitz is 11, which is our current standard vehicle. Only travels at 37, that's quite slow, but it carries everything. Whereas this new modded vehicle, a East European one, I believe, or German, maybe East. For some reason, I've got an Eastern Bloc in my head. So why are these mid-plane? What does that mean? Oh, that must be the open carriage as opposed to. No, well, that's mid-plane. That's the box. That's the box, perhaps. But they carry the same. They travel at 56. Yeah, they all travel at 56. That's good. I think we'll take a few of those. We'll put 4 on to start with. I think, seems we've got no freight at all at the moment. And you'll go on the Coventry freight. There we go. And over in Churchill, where's the trucks? Your tram. Oh no, you are road vehicle. We'll buy the same thing there, I think. Take 4 of you, and we will assign you to the Churchill freight. Right, where's my latest train? You should be coming out of the station, the depot. Oh, there he is. Right. So he will take a while to pick up construction materials. In the meantime, we can look at these new vehicles. Whoa. And that's our modded cargo station with the steel fence as opposed to the sound barrier perimeter, and they drive straight through, so it's nice and neat. They don't sort of get in there, turn around and have to go back out the same way. Now I think we're coming to the end of this little episode, and this is about as long as I usually like them to be. Well, let's follow this train. Where's that? Oh, that's the Class A4. As it goes through the station here. It'll take a while for the construction materials to arrive for the train to pick up. How fast can that go? 90. Well, it travels through the station without too much effort. Didn't seem to slow down too much, so that's good. Oh, they do. They slow down dramatically. Oh no, he's going in. That's why he slowed down. Don't. Should be a bus along here soon, somewhere. Where's the intercity buses? Go on, give me a bus. Ah, there's one. Actually, should we take the bird's eye view? There we go. Oh, you can see the front of the radiator there. He's travelling at 47, which I think is probably his maximum speed. Look at that, going past all the private traffic. So why are they driving their own cars? It doesn't slow down at all. Excellent. Right, that's exactly what we wanted to see. And this train coming through. And, oh, it's going to be so cool when that construction materials thing gets going as well. Right, do you know what? I think we will end this here. So we've got an exciting new route lined up. Those Actually, is that bus turned up yet? That's I was looking for replacement. Oh, we've got the double deckers. Right, one final mod change here. They're 11 years old, these buses, and they're making lots of money. Loads of money. Look at that, 400k every year, and I think there's lots of passengers waiting. Yeah, for the megabus 57. So I think we can replace these with a. Look at that. It travels faster, 50. It carries 23 passengers as opposed to 9, which means I could probably chop at least one of these buses off. Yeah, I'll take one of those buses off the route. So we'll replace all those, I think, with a German double-decker. Or I'll replace them all. It's only 2.5. I've got 100 million in the bank, so what's that? It's nothing. Right, is one of these going to be approaching the station soon? Oh, you've just left, of course. How about the other end of the network? Is there a bus coming into this bus station? No, of course there isn't. Yeah, I'm going to have to bus lane some of these roads. I don't suppose any of those buses have changed yet, have they? No. Well, that's a little bit annoying. I think our best bet is probably up here in Churchill. And we'll see a bus change over. Ah, there's one now. There you are. So how is he going to appear? Oh, come on, get round, stop. Turn into a double decker. And there he is. He's not going to take colours or logos, which is a little disappointing. There's humps in the road. They're annoying, aren't they? But he's got everything else you could possibly want in a vehicle. Advertising, route numbers, bus numbers. Oh, an open stairwell straight out of the street. That looks like it could be dangerous, actually. That, I think, is where we're going to leave it then. Yes, like I said that a little while ago, didn't I? So we have, right, so you're the Churchill one on that side and the Coventry one on that side. I'm not sure that really makes sense, to be honest. I would have thought you'd be on the other sides, but that's the way of it. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this little episode, do leave us a like. And if you've got any thoughts, suggestions, recommendations, critiques, whatever, suggestions for mods that we could put in and use in the game, it'd be great to hear from you. Just leave a note in the comments box below. And of course, if you've not done so already, please do subscribe to the channel, and that way you'll know as soon as I upload another one of these or any of my other. And a train in the distance, fabulous. That way you'll know when I upload any more of this series or any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost here in Transport Fever, and too good of you. Until the next time, bye bye for now.